So I'm Veronica Garcia Aretaga. I'm co-founder and CEO of Neggst Foods. And it's a company in Berlin, and we are doing alternatives to egg. Right now, we were established in 2021, so summer 2021. And then since then, we've been working to bring up our prototype from the lab up to the scale up. And there has been several challenges, but we're on the good track, I would say. And yeah, that's where we are right now. I think the team is growing, and we're focusing in two products. The original, that it was the main product that we have, egg white, egg yolk, and then we have also a mixed egg. I think everything started really early on. So when I was already like 11 or 12, I really knew I wanted to study something with chemistry or with food, because I always ate breakfast by myself, and usually it was just cereal because I would not prepare anything. So I always read I finished the games in the back of the box, and you finish them in one day, right? So the next days I could only then read everything again, and then I read a lot about the nutritional table, and I read the ingredients, and I always was super wondering, how do they do these cereals with these ingredients that you see them? I mean, from wheat and sugar and starch that you see in the ingredients, and then you have these little exudates that at the time I didn't know what it was, right? I was wondering how they know how much protein, how much carbohydrates they have. So I knew really early on I wanted to study something about food and how food is made. It's funny because I never liked to cook. I'm not the biggest fan. But I was always interested in how it is made in a big production. So yeah, and then I had my first chemistry classes, and then I really love it. But I didn't want to study just food chemistry. I really wanted to see the production itself. So food engineering was most interesting for me. So that's why I decided to study that. I'm the CEO. I started as a CTO when we founded the company, because I had really no experience in business, and I really wanted to focus in the product and so on. I was a lot into the scaling up and in the production. And at some point, sometimes the co-founder part doesn't work that well. So I took over the CEO position. And I think anyway, from the beginning, before taking the position, I was already learning too much. What does it mean to be a co-founder? What does it mean to lead the company? How to present it to investors? So when I take the CEO position, it was just a little bit more, I would say. So really taking over also all the financials, the HR, and all of it. So it has been a really interesting learning, almost 2 years already. And it's really exciting. So I'm still within the R&D team. So I still have one-on-one with all my R&D team. And also we have meetings together. We try to make workshops just to keep the brainstorming coming on. So I also don't lose it. Sometimes I also like to go back to the lab and see how things are made, to do some things for myself. It's always good to have the idea how things are moving, how things are working. Because I think if I would just be outside as a CEO and just doing the business outside, you don't know what the team is really struggling with. So I still do that, but I do a lot of talking with partners, trying to organize the agreements, talking with the lawyers, talking with the banks. That's the worst part, especially because I am in Germany and they just don't speak English. So yeah, so it has been a challenge, but I really enjoy it. Of course, I'm working most of the time, also on the weekends, but I think it's worth it. And I think that the product is going really good, and we are almost launching. So that's my motivation, and I really enjoy it. It's not like a heavy thing to do for me. I think in general, the egg category is really disruptive and really new, because eggs are really complicated or challenging. I mean, when you see other products like meats or dairy, and then you have a solid, and then you cook it and it will still a solid. Milk will still be liquid, or yeah. So there's not really a lot of changes that needs to happen. But in the case on an egg, then you have something that is liquid, and then you want to cook it and that gets solid. But it's not only as a fried egg, but you want to make it also scrambled, but you want to use it also for cakes, or you want to make foam or meringues. So it's a really complex product. So already the chicken egg is so complex, and then now trying to imitate it, it's so complex. And I would say there's several companies there that are trying to do the eggs right now. And I mean, there are a few good products, I would say, others are not that nice, but most of them are a scrambled egg. So just like a liquid egg that you can use for scrambling it or for frying it as well. Yeah, so to cook it. But the most, or the interesting part from ours is we wanted really to recreate the chicken egg. So we have an egg white and the egg yolk, like I said before. And the idea is that you could use it as you would use a chicken egg. So you can fry it, so make a sunny side up, or you can scramble it. You can also use it as a baking, use it as a to make sauces or different stuff. And for us, the most challenging part, we have been thinking how we scale it up, and then to create this membrane around the egg yolk. There's no machine that exists for that. I mean, the principle is a little bit like the bubble tea machine, but of course the bubble teas are so small, so it doesn't really apply to us. So we develop now a machine. Now they need to build it. Hopefully everything works as planned. Then we can create it automatically. So this why it has taken a little bit more time. And then we just need to make sure that this membrane, it's thin enough so people don't taste it, but thick enough that it doesn't break when we are like moving it around. Yeah, so this is what it differentiates us a little bit from the competition. But the best business advice that I got from a colleague, female founder, was that even when I get angry, I should not raise my voice, because there has been a few times that I was angry in a meeting because things are not happening and things are not moving with partners or with investors, and I just want to express that I'm angry, but then they told me you need to express it without raising your voice and showing that they are affecting you. And this is the hardest part, like trying not to so show them with your tone that you're angry, but without raising the voice and without like looking so emotional or seeming so emotional. So yeah, this is, I think, the biggest advice right now, and then I'm still trying to apply it every time. I think it's working. I'm practicing with my husband always, but but yeah, I think this is a really good advice that I got. Oh, I think definitely tech is the future, or it has always been, I would say. Although I really like tech because it's so much easier to understand the things, whatever the thing or the tech specific branch you want to go. But it's easier from tech than to come to the business part, I would say. And it's even better because when the business, then you have a really good understanding what is happening in the back, or what is happening in your product or whatever. And then you, with that knowledge, you transmit it better to the investors. So I would definitely encourage everyone to at least understand tech. If they don't want to just go for tech, at least take a few courses just to get an understanding. And if you are not taking courses, and if you already have a career in business or in other, like if you're in a company that is focusing on tech, go back to the R&D or the tech team and try to learn a little bit more how the product really works, and how you could also help to give some ideas and so on. I mean, at the end, it's also good to have other inputs from different people without the tech, because they are not a little bit constricted. Maybe at some point you get constricted because you have already what you know and so on.